About that. I'm like logged in different ones. Okay, so this call is just gonna be 30 minutes. The call intention is all about really fueling your business through the club, how the club can get like really help build your business, the culture of the club, really be able to help support you, not only being your best there, but help the team be the best in the club. Okay, so we have Heart and Soul on the line and Rise Up on the line. So coast to coast, representing, and we're both in the same kind of motion. Heart and Soul has been open for 1 month now, which is amazing. Rise Up is about to hit 6 months in a few weeks. So same sort of time period of where we are in our journey post-launch. So a few different things. Joe and I have been with each of the clubs from the beginning. So we went through this period called the pre-launch. So pre-launch for before the actual space opened. Amanda, be safe. Don't worry about looking at me, okay? Just look at the road. You too, Joe, if you're actually on the road. I know you're listening. So pre-launch was all about really spreading the word in the community that we're coming. It was massive action to really help the community anticipate the grand opening so that there's a buzz. You know, like by the time we open doors, we can have people flooding in because they've been excited for us to be there, okay? So for the three of you guys, Courtney, Kayla, and Amanda, you're in the pre-launch phase for your business, right? So you're in this phase right now, and it's leading up to your individual grand opening. So for your grand opening, we'll do like a ribbon cutting. We'll have like a celebration, and it takes like a little bit of action before we get to that point. For each of our spaces, we had, as a team, done 30,000 invitations, plus social media invitations. We did tea drops, we did in-services, we did satellites, we did a lot of different things in the community. So in this period, we're kind of like condensing what we did for the pre-launch into a few weeks for you guys to really help launch you get like become an ambassador behind the bar as well. We were gonna call them like goddesses behind the bar, but then we have like Devin and Jay and like Yash, and like we can't really call them goddesses. So like, you know, we're coming up with like an empowering name, but for now we're all ambassadors of the brand. We're ambassadors of health and fitness and positivity in our community. So while you're in this training phase, I know Courtney and Amanda have been like really on it with like invitations and like really getting behind Kings and Queens. I love that. Working behind the bar, shadowing, different pieces like that. Kayla, I know you're in Sonoma. How far is that from you, Joe?
It's about 4 hours.
It's a few hours? Okay,
Yeah, like
cool. So
4.
Kayla, 4 hours. Okay, cool. So Kayla, you're going to be on this call really listening and shadowing on how you can expand the movement down to Sonoma, or I know there's already a club there, so maybe an area around you so that it makes sense with what we're talking about. And we'll help you, of course, along the way.
That's actually
But
really
it's all the same idea. We're really trying to help spread the word about everything that's happening. So Joe, you're on mute.
Conversation.
Were you trying to say something?
I was just saying,
I can't hear you
still. For Kayla and I, we actually are looking.
Okay, you can share it in a moment. So what we wanted to talk about today is really how that process is going. Amanda and Courtney, you guys specifically are in this space in the same time period. So you both kind of decided that you wanted to become a part of the team at the same time. So there's a few different pieces, and we went over in detail with it, you know, getting clients, you know, anyone that who've been watching your own journey, both have been getting freaking amazing results. And then also being able to hand out these invitations and do tea drops and connect with people in the community. So that piece is definitely the most important. How has that been going for you, Courtney? Courtney, are you there?
As far as invites? Yes. As far as invites?
Yeah.
I've gotten a few invites out here and there. I scheduled some times with Joe so I can learn more on how to do the invites, because I am slacking in that part, but I have scheduled some time with Joe so I can learn a proper way of doing it correctly.
Okay, awesome. And it really does just come from kind of sharing your experience. So there's no like right or wrong way of doing it. And like sometimes in the beginning can be a little bit like nerve wracking, but the more that you're just practicing what you're saying every single day. The more you do it, every single time I start the first one, sometimes I stutter. Sometimes I just have to say hi to someone. Like I'm naturally really shy. So like sometimes the first person I'm just like, hi. And then the next person I can actually invite. So it's okay if things like that happen. It's just really getting in the habit of doing them daily so that it becomes like second nature. And then, yes, I definitely would recommend doing them with Joe, but also like go to events in the community. I know Amanda had gone to like a workout locally, like just a free workout hosted by like the Chamber of Commerce, something like that, or like just going to places that you would connect to so that you can hand out invites. So as we kind of did a roadmap for Amanda and everyone in our club, everyone has kind of a specific niche. So Amanda is a teacher. Bria used to be like a hairstylist and esthetician. So Amanda's hitting up all the schools. Bria's hitting up all of like the salons. Yash is a medical, like he just finished medical school. So he is going to hit up all the doctor's office, eye doctors, dentists, like anything to do with that field. And I'm going to hit up all of like the apartment buildings and really connect more that way. So if there's something that you feel connected to, I would definitely recommend starting there, really being able to just kind of speak from experience that way, and then go to community events, especially right now as like it's end of summer, still going into fall and September. There will be things happening outside, like farmers markets. I know each individual town is now it's starting to be trendy that they're doing like their taste of. So like, I don't know if you guys have that in Reading, but even the school, like a university close to us, is doing a taste of DePaul. So we're going to go hit that up this weekend and give invite cards out to. We got to start to be creative, but some of the things that I would recommend is number one, like really being proactive on how you're going to do it, not just like walking out like I'm going to do invites. It starts to get really overwhelming sometimes when that happens. Not that you can't do that, but it's like different, we learned our whole life. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that what's hard in terms of like invites, because I am like back in school, it's that daily invite thing that I'm sort of struggling with. But then what I also found is that like, when I step outside, I've been doing, I think we've shared this before, but I've been doing like tea samples where it's like you literally give like a shot of like 3 different flavored teas, and just as people are walking by, I just say like, hi, do you want to try a healthy tea sample? And I have a stack of my cards with me. And from that, like there was one day I handed out 45 cards just from the samples, and like 5 people walked in, so that, and if you think about like the percentage of like that's about 10% of your reach out like walked in. But one thing that I found is that like there are some people that are just wanting to try out, but then there's some people that will engage you in conversation. And it's just kind of putting yourself out there and knowing what you're like offering them that has really helped with invites. And then the other thing is when I'm handing out the cards like on the street, I've been like it's a matter of like not taking it personally when someone says no, because people hand them like out all the time. And like I've come back sometimes with like some crazy stories to Mira, been like, this person like blah 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 blah, And I'm just telling her like a story. But the thing is that there have been people that have come in from my cards. There was a group of people that said no, and there was another group of people that was right next to me that like came to me and took my cards, and then they came in the next day. So like it you really do just like, it is kind of amazing how much just going out and just kind of putting yourself out there, as nerve-wracking as it is, because like talking to strangers is not always easy, but some people are like, oh, where is it? Oh, that's great. So it's just like, to me, it's just been stepping outside of my comfort zone in terms of that, but also being confident in knowing that what I'm offering or selling, you know, is like valid and has helped me. So I feel authentic when I'm saying it.
Yeah. I actually was at a doctor's appointment last week, and I invited the front desk girl just because I was speaking to her, invited her, and then I invited my doctor. And as I was walking out, one of the nurses asked me for a few cards to hand out to everyone because they wanted everyone to know in the office.
That's awesome. And deeper than that too, Courtney, like putting what Amanda was saying into your experience, and something that like Joe, I'm sure you've seen on the Club Mastery, is like a lot of tea drops. So it's very, very, very cheap for us to purchase tea, and we sell it at a high profit margin. So it's smart for us to be able, if we sample anything, for it to be tea, because it's very low cost for us and it tastes really good, you know? So Amanda's been standing outside with just like an ounce of tea, so they just taste it. But sometimes what we do for the businesses around us is actually take tea to them. This is about like 4 to 6 ounces in like a small cup. You know, you load it with ice, of course, too. So you're not giving them a lot of product for free, but they are able to taste it, and you're able to connect with them and share with them exactly what's in it. We just did this a few times. Like I've done so many of these, and it's so powerful because like 100% of the time they love it, right? And sometimes like the people come in that same day with your card, you know? So the more of these that basically it's like the more action we're in, the more likely people are going to come in with your card. And that's where it really starts to go, right? Because as you're training to be ambassadors, you're not taking away from what's already built inside the clubs, because we've already done so much work to get to this point, right? Now, as you're becoming ambassadors behind the bar, now it's like you're adding value to the space. So when you're coming in there, there's more people coming inside the door. So everyone is making the same or more money, not less money, because it's split between more people. Does that make sense? So that's the piece we really want to make sure, because if the profit margin right now is like $100 per shift, and then you don't do any work and you come there and 2 people are working, then it's $50 per shift. And that's cut in half. That's what we don't want, right? We want to add value so there are more people coming in through the doors. And what that is and why we do invites is 2 reasons, right? Number 1, so we get regulars in the space. We want people in the space every single day, right? Amanda, like I met Amanda through someone I sent a message to on Instagram who came in, and then she referred a friend, and that girl referred Amanda, and Amanda lives right next door. That's what we want. People who can come in every single day because they're in the community. They're looking for something healthy. They're looking to replace Starbucks because it's not healthy, right? Like they want something that's actually good for them. So the more invites that we do, the more people we have coming in that are going to be regulars. So people, and why we use that word is because you start to build a relationship with them. They start to get committed, just like you, Courtney, like you were coming in every single day, just loving the space. And that's what it's all about. That's how we impact the community. Because I know for Amanda, like her physical results are awesome, but I'm obsessed with the way that she like she carries herself now with confidence, you know, like Courtney wearing a crop top shirt. That's what we're trying to bring to the community. So when we're talking about, and it wouldn't have happened if you guys hadn't come in every single day. You know, if you just came in once and that was it, like it may not have gotten to the point where you talk about yourself so differently. You're confident. You're really able to like transform and elevate yourself and become the best version of yourself. So that's what we're really trying to spread for people. But it does take quite a few of those invitations for you to get regulars, right? And when you have regulars that are your regular, right? They're the regulars of the space, but they're regulars because you invited them. They're more likely to become a client. And that's what we're building. So not only are they coming in every single day, but they also have products at home. Like that's when they're purchasing them from you. That's when you start to build like an Herbalife business alongside being an ambassador with the club, like being a queen behind the bar. Because it's not just a glorified shake maker. There's so many different pieces to being able to like really, for both of you guys, you like work such long hours and like so hard, like bridge that gap so that even when you're behind the bar, you have a regular come in and they reorder. You not only are making the $100 to $200 from the people coming in through the door, but you also made $100 because that your client reordered. Right? So it's like really opening up those streams of income where you're really able to see the full benefits of everything, right? So those are like the twofold, and then of course, even deeper than that, as you guys both started on your program, right? There were lots of people. I had 80 people in May start on programs, right? So out of those people, some of them became distributors and wanted to be a part of the team and wanted to spread the word with us and really be able to join the movement in that aspect. And that's how it's possible, is because I had so many people coming through the door. Jo had so many people coming through the door with her invite that she had regulars and then she had clients and then she had distributors. So it's kind of like an organic way of building people instead of forcing people to do anything they don't want to do, right? That we never want to feel like that. It's more like there's so many people that the people who choose to keep going, the people who choose to elevate their life, self-select because the option is always there. And it feels so much different. You're not like scrambling for clients. They're like literally coming to you because there's so many people coming in through the door, okay? So that's like, in that experience, it feels so good, okay? Like, all you have to do is do the invites and consistently, and the results come. Like it's proven fact. So now it's just a game of actually doing it. And
I have a question about so I know that this focus is has been about like getting the invites out.
Yeah.
But just in terms of I know it's kind of jumping ahead by asking this question, but once the invites are pretty much out and we're noticing that people are coming back in, but they're not necessarily consistently coming back in. And I know that we have the follow-up texts and offers that we do, but no one's ever written back to any of my follow-up texts. And I don't even know if anyone has come back from my follow-up texts. So I'm just kind of wondering, I get really excited when I see someone, I put my nickname AFED, on the back of my cards. So I get really excited when I see an AFED card come in and at the end of the night when it's a Tuesday night and I'm not even at the club and Mira sends me a leads post just for me to follow up. I get so excited. And then I try to do my follow-ups sometime between 11 and 1, the next day. So it's you're saying to do it at 5. Or you have something to say?
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. But then it's but then I just don't know if they've never responded to my text. I just don't know if then they're following up there. I don't know if it's worth reaching out again at some point. If that makes sense.
Amanda, I'd love to take that if you don't mind, Mira.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney is on this call right now. She's hit 2 cuts of DAP because of that lead card. So I have my name on each of the cards. I did invites out at, I was out at a Girl Scout fundraiser that I saw posted on Facebook, me and Anamika. I met her upline. Courtney's actually my second line. She doesn't do the business anymore. She completely fell off the grid, but I handed her an invite card to our fit camp. She came to a fit camp, this little thing. She also came to one of my other samplings. She started following us on Instagram, And so her upline came to like a little tea sampling thing, tried the tea, became a client, and then immediately the next day became a distributor. And then she invited Courtney. She saw Courtney at class. She invited Courtney to come to our fit camp. And so Courtney is technically, if you look at the flow, Courtney is technically an invite from a special event from Facebook through my lead card. And the way that I communicated was all through Instagram. She never like told me she was coming to fit camp. I wasn't even teaching the fit camp. Anamika Detroit literally did the fit camp. It took me like a month to figure out how we actually connected, me and her upline. But then it got back to me that it was because she met me at that little health fair, got my card, and then got my out of that card, I sent her a follow-up on Instagram. So I know you might not see it immediately, but it all follows up. Every invite is worth it to get a Courtney, right? Courtney sees the vision. She's my only person right now that's in the cafe on this call and invested and committed to the vision of Heart and Soul Nutrition. So you just never know. You never know how the follow-up is going to go. She never actually responded back to my Instagram message, but she just showed up to an invite. Yeah. So what I do is I go back every week and I invite them to something. Sober bar night, create and paint, bend and blend, whatever activities we're doing that week. I don't care if they don't want to follow me, they'll unfollow me and then I'll unfollow them, right? After a certain amount of time. But literally just know that if somebody is following us, we have the opportunity to send them multiple invitations until something resonates. Fitness doesn't resonate with everyone. Painting parties don't resonate with everyone. Sober bar night doesn't resonate. Sometimes people have to see something. JJ taught us that today. 7 to 17 times. They need 7 to 17 touch points. So if I invite somebody to 10 different things and then they unfollow me, that's up to them. But at least I tried, and I'm trying to create those touch points for them. So don't get discouraged that somebody hasn't followed up with you or wrote you back. I can't tell you how many times, like, it'll land, it will connect, and it will eventually come full circle. Just be positive, and the entire time, just remember, this lead will turn into something. And so your vibe attracts your tribe. So whatever you're putting out there while you're doing those invites, you'll attract back in terms of business partners, clients, and customers. So just stay positive, do your invites with an open heart, and just understand that you're not going to hit everybody, but that way at least you can connect with them on Instagram. But just be patient. It's a numbers game. I didn't get a lot of people at first. I'm a lot scarier looking than you are. So for me, a bodybuilder walking up to you is like, oh God, I don't want anything to do with her protein shakes. She looks like she probably does steroids, right? So
I was scared of Jo when I first met her.
Preach. I cannot tell you, Amanda, today I just got a brand new client and she told me I was really, really scared of you. And it was the gal. She got referred. I spilled protein shakes on all in my car. I pulled up, I was crying, I was cursing and crying, and a detailer detailed my car. I spilled like 20 vegetarian shakes in my car doing a delivery, and he detailed out my car, and then he ended up becoming my long-term customer. He comes every day. Well, his wife is a massage therapist that just graduated. I partnered with her. Through her, the National Holistic Institute came out and did free chair massages for a fit camp on Saturday, and her business partner became my client. She also came and did chair massages. She's now referred like 10 of her people to come in. And when they came in today, they said they came yesterday and they came back today. And I said, can I ask you why you came back? And they said, well, at first when we came in, we were going to leave because you look really scary. True story. They're like, you look really mean. And then you open your mouth and we saw you talk to some customers. I'm like, okay, yeah, she's really nice, but she just looks scary. So just remember, there's nothing, I can't change my face, but I can change my attitude, and I can change people's first impression by making their second impression really great. So whatever, like when Mira walks up to somebody on the street and hands them an invite, they're like, oh my gosh, what a sweet person. When I walk up to somebody, they're like, whoa, what's happening, right? So you got to know yourself and know like what energy you're putting out there too. I don't go to special events. Like, I'm not going to wander around a farmer's market and pass out cards. It's going to be horrible. I'm going to go to every single fitness gym, CrossFit center, CrossFit event, outdoor throwing tire arena championship, strong woman stuff, and I'm going to kill it. You got to know your audience. Yeah. So go to places where you feel comfortable. Mira can walk through that gorgeous Reebok and Adidas yoga scene and like clean house. I would walk through there and scare the yogis half to death. So know your audience and know your vibe and go to those places. Like Courtney is super like high energy and like super sweet. We're opposites. So Courtney can go into different markets and do a lot of lead generation and attract a lot of people that are like very similar to her. But like sometimes I'll hang back on some of those, like, because it will actually mess with, like, they'll be like, oh, I'm really confused. You know what I mean?
Yeah, energy is definitely a lot. And that was great. Like, I loved all of that, Joe. And then even deeper to what you're talking about, Amanda, that's why it's so important. And for everyone watching the recording, I know for us at Rise Up, it is mandatory to give great customer service. That is the only thing you do. If you don't, then you're out of the bar. Like, there's no question asked, you know? So when someone comes in and they have your card in there, you want them to have the best freaking experience ever. And it's more about the experience and the taste than just the taste. And I really want to stress this because it's about the experience. If you're not happy and excited when they're coming in, like, bye, get out, I'll do it. Like, not even joking, because it's all about who we are. And if you guys, if like you and Courtney, like as you guys came in as customers, if myself or Joe were like melancholy when you came in and just kind of okay customer service, it wouldn't have been the same for you. Like, it just, no matter if you think it would not have been the same. So that's why that piece is crucial for all of us as a team, whether Amanda, your lead is coming in when I'm on the shift, or like whoever it is, like we're all on the same page about that, beyond the board, like paying attention, knowing exactly when someone comes in, like phones away, like doing things for the club, like that piece is everything. And so like as we all elevate that piece, and then at the end, like as they're having a great experience, connecting with them about it. You know, like how I talked to Brianna about DePaul, like I took her she literally waved me down on the street, so excited to see me. And it's been, you know what I mean? Like, we want that to be the experience for people, that they like us and they love the spot. And they walk away with something. For us at Rise Up, it's mandatory to talk to people about the punch card, because it's stupid if you don't. Like, if we have a punch card existing so they come in 4 times and you don't talk about it, like, that's just stupid, because then you're telling them not to come in 4 times. Like, think about it. And if you're working the next 4 days, that's 1 less membership for you. So think about, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm being really blunt about it because it's common sense. And it's less about being an employee working behind a bar, more bigger thinking that you are now an owner of this space. You are now a part owner. We are a team. Like, we lead the pack together. Like, it's not one person doing it and one person telling people what to do. It's a group effort, and that's why it's so powerful when we're all on the same page. That's when it becomes like beautifully like flowing and it works. I know it's 9:00 and we said a short 30-minute call. I want to stick to our word about that, especially after we talked to Anna. But it really, like, the whole topic about today really was just to help motivate you guys to really do your grand opening. So however fast that we can support you guys in getting the 2,000 invites out, to getting your 5 clients, to really being able to support you on that back end, so you can just start your grand opening like event and really be able to get behind the bar and like rock it as a queen behind there. All right. All right. I think, Joe, we lost you, but so great having you on the call, guys. Kayla, I know we talked a lot about, like, specifically about the clubs. These are all things you can also implement in like a satellite club in the meantime, so that you can really start to get the ball rolling with everything. And we can do a call too. I can share a few existing recordings that could help with that as well. But have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. This is the beginning of a beautiful month. This is when people are excited to be focused on their health. This is when people are like, okay, what the F happened during summer. I need to get my life together, and we are their solution. So we get to be out there doing invites, letting people know that we're here to help, sharing positivity, and really, really being on the forefront of it so that people know that you're the person to go to. Okay? Have a great night. I will see you guys all later.